wish you success. We wish you victory. All Nigerians are behind you. We are praying that will come out with smiles and happiness today. And you can see that is why we have the jersey to identify with you. Our president, President Muhammad Buhari, is with you. Every Nigerian, the over 180 million Nigerians are praying for your success today, and we believe that it must be successful. Yes, as we speak right now, in Rivers State, south part of Nigeria, there is a local council election going on, and a lot of people have thought that it's not possible to have election in Rivers State, but I bet you that election is going on in Rivers State, courtesy the security arrangement that is put in place, led by the Commissioner of Police, CP Zaki Ahmed and his men. CP Ahmed is already on the line with us to give us the lowdown of what is happening in Rivers State. How are you, CP?
Good afternoon, Patrick.
Yes, sir. Yes, I said in my opening that a lot of people may not believe it, but right now there is a local council election taking place in Rivers State. How true is that?
Yes, it is going on smoothly. There's no cause for alarm. People are complying with the orders that we give that movement is restricted from 7:00 hours to 16:00 hours in the afternoon.
No. Okay. So far, I know that as early as 8 a.m. you'll set out to go to inspect and see how things are on the field. What reports do you have? I'm sure you've been going around. What reports are you getting from across the part of the states?
Well, as I'm speaking now, all the security chiefs in the state, the police, the SDS, the civil defense, federal road safety, prisons, immigration, NDLEA, we are all out monitoring the situation. And it's very impressive. People have turned out to a very great extent. And we have not been reporting any serious issue as far as the process is concerned.
Okay.
I think the only issue so far reported is in some places, some of the material arrived there late, but all the same, the process is ongoing without much problem.
Okay. We're told that you were able to muster close to about 15,000 security personnel for the election. How true is that, sir?
Yes, all the other security agencies who are working in synergy, they contributed personnel to ensure that all the polling units are covered by at least 2 personnel.
Okay. Yeah, I will allow you to continue with your assessment. During the week, Security Watch Africa will be there to have some of the follow-up post-mortem of what happened. We will wish you success in the election, sir.
Thank you very much. I appreciate. God bless.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah, that was the Commissioner of Police, Rivers State, CP Zaki Ahmed, telling us about what is happening in the election. And like you know, election is something that is made to develop the people, and people must vote those who they believe will deliver for them. And police is to provide the necessary support in terms of security, and that I'm sure they are doing successfully. Yes, we'll have to go to the next issue, and that is talking about security in Delta State. Security Watch Africa team were in Delta State, where we'll have this report for you. Sit back as we bring you the report from Delta State.
Crime and criminality will always be an enmity to peace and development, and must be fought with all sense of seriousness, most especially by the Nigerian police force, saddled with the task of maintaining law and order in the country. Delta State, the big heart of the nation, sometimes called mini Nigeria by many because of its diverse multicultural nature, has had her own share of security issues. Security Watch Africa crew visited the State Police Command headquarters to find out the level of security in the state. The Delta State Commissioner of Police, Mohammed Mustafa, told Security Watch Africa how he has so far managed the security situation in the state, especially the herdsmen-farmers clash that has created bad blood between host communities and herdsmen in Nigeria.
Security situation in Delta State is good. I can say that after assessing the situations and taking measures to counter them, we're able to go. Today's Deltans are, relatively the state is okay. By and large, I can say that with the sectorization also, all the divisional police officers have embraced sectorization, which is a way of, dividing the division into sectors, giving responsibilities to commanders. There twice is, as people who are in charge of those sectors, responsible for what is happening. So that has given them a lot of, check. It has given them, it keeps them on their toes, and that makes them to also be more effective and efficient. So they have embraced this one. They don't know this before, and they have embraced this, and it's yielding positive results. Then also, after our meeting with the state governor and other stakeholders on these farmers and headers, we are now having it. They are doing it at the local government level, reporting to the chairman themselves, reporting to the SSG, and then the police reporting to us. So that has also now made them to sit up, and the cases of herders farmers is reduced drastically. And once it happens to you see us rolling around and containing it, we don't allow it to expand.
The strategy of sectorizing various parts of the state command is paying off, as this has given more responsibilities to officers and men to ensure their sectors are well pleased. The command recently recorded a major breakthrough with the arrest of a 5-man gang kidnappers. The gang, led by one Ebuka Ejieniegdu, aged 28, said they operate majorly in Edo, Delta, Enugu, and Abuja. Ebuka and his gang has been on the command's wanted list for months now for the kidnap of one Mrs. Josephine Anofueme, who resides in Asaba, but was later rescued by operative of the state command at Okogbele in Oshimili South local government area of the state. After the arrest of Ebuka and his gang by the police, they confessed to the recent kidnap of one Michael Sunday in Abuja, but said they left him under Apo Bridge after beating and collecting all he had on him.
I went to Abuja. I carry one chance is if we carry person, inside motor. If they go, we go search the person. My colleague here search them. Chukuma with the Chidebe, magic finger. So we start the man. The man started fighting. So we beat the man seriously with hammer. We beat the man with hammer. How many are this hammer on the 2? We beat the man with hammer and drop the motor. The man come down. So now what happened?
The man come down. Where he die? Where we keep him?
The man used his leg go down. So now where they come, they tell us the man die.
We never till I start to follow them, because as they introduce me to the work now, me I can't see the work no be waiting. Then they use gun or you collect somebody things with force. That's why I follow them. So as I can't follow them, I can't see as then they use the work now. Now you can carry one man. As we carry the man now, collect the man money now, the man can begin fight. As the man begin fight, and we beat the man true. As then beat the man finish, now we drop the man. We can't move.
Security Watch Africa, as part of our community responsibility, went further to find out why they killed Michael. Was it part of the gang mode of operation to kill their victims after collecting all their belongings? We discovered that Michael would still be alive if he had not proved stubborn to his adopters.
We know the key person. No, we go do say we go beat you. If you mess up, we go beat you. If you no mess up, we go collect them. Sharply drop you go. I think what they do. And the person where they mess up, where they knock him, and the person where put stubborn.
If that person they do stubborn, we now use hammer to ginger that person.
Okay. So this particular man now wanna kill now, so when I take him out, finish him body.
So we they stop the man they drag, and we don't now we gonna use hammer now.
This lesson from Michael's experience, we hope, will teach our viewers to always cooperate with their adopters whenever they find themselves in such situations. You don't argue with a man holding a gun or any dangerous weapon. Your life is worth more than anything you possess.
Indeed, your worth is very, very important. Your life is very, very important. So no matter the position on earth, if the life is cut short, you won't be able to do anything. Yes, welcome to your program. This is your program, Security Watch Africa. Make use of our social media platform to send us your views and comments so that we can respond back to you. Right now, we're taking you to Maiduguri, Borno State, where we have the energetic Major General Nuhu Angbazu on the line to tell us what is happening over there in Maiduguri. I know he just came back from Mungunu. Hello, are you on the line, sir?
Yes, Patrick, how are you?
I'm very well. How are you doing?
Very fine indeed.
First of all, I must congratulate Nigerians. I must congratulate the Nigerian Armed Forces and the Nigerian Army and your team. I think this is making it the third year running that Salah is celebrated without any bomb blasts. I hope I'm correct.
Yes, you're very correct. In fact, the Salah this year was so peaceful, so calm.
Okay.
Yes.
In fact, so can you just give us a lowdown of what happened yesterday? I know that you did a lot of things. You were even up there to Mongunu and all that. What really happened, sir?
Yes. Well, as you are aware, the Nigerian Army is in our operations here. Last month, the Chief of Army Staff launched Operation Last Hold. And the aim of that operation is for us to be able to finally conduct clearance operations along the Lake Chad, and then also, more importantly, to also be able to facilitate the return of internally displaced persons from the various camps to their ancestral homes in northern Borno, and then also to also prepare for the Nigerian Army Day celebration, which is going to take place in Mungunu, where we are going to have even a mini trade fair, and we're also going to have display of equipment. So we are leading in ensuring the whole country and the whole world knows that, look, northern Borno State, the fight against insurgency has been won, and we are here right now facilitating the return to our normal commercial, agricultural activities of the people. So that was the reason why the Chief of Army Staff dispatched the Chief of Training Operations, Major General Didi Amadou, and myself to come and set off Operation Last Hold formally, and then also to prepare for the relocation of the internally dispersed persons back to their homes, and then also to prepare for the Nigerian Army Day celebration, which is going to be on a very grand scale.
In fact, this is quite heartwarming because, imagine 3 years ago, many people would not believe that we could get to this stage where people are going back. It's quite gladdening. Yeah, and I know it has come with a lot of costs on the lives of soldiers and all that. Let us know how let's say, how motivated are the troops you met over there to push with this last hold that is taking off soon?
Oh, well, yesterday we also, celebrated the Salah with our troops. And when we gave them, we read the Chief of Army Staff's message, there was a standing ovation. They were ready for that operation last hold to be the last operation that would allow them to even also go back to their homes and see their families. So there was a lot of excitement. The enthusiasm, the morale was very high. The enthusiasm was there. They are seeing that, yes, we are moving along the line of ensuring peace and stability returns back to the citizens. We have sworn to that, before joining this job, and everybody is, all our personnel are eager to ensure that, what they swore to uphold the territorial integrity of this country, they are ready to do that. And so I can assure you, there is the morale is very, very high. There's a lot of enthusiasm on the part of our troops.
Okay. Yeah, I know that now you are one of those who, working with the Chief of Army Staff himself, had come out with a policy of the non-kinetic approach to making sure that this fight is totally won. Can you tell us what you've been doing in terms of relating back to the communities?
Well, I can assure you that this was under the directive of the Chief of Army Staff, in which there is, based on the current assessment of our operations and the analysis of the type of engagements we are going to be having in the future. We are fighting asymmetric warfare now, and therefore there is a need for us not only to win the war, but to also win the peace. And that is where the non-kinetic line of operation in which he has activated, that this should be in direct support. And what are those activities? First of all, we have very good civil-military relations. That was why he established the Department of Civil-Military Affairs. He established also the Human Rights Desk. We also have the call center, where individuals, if they have any complaint or they have any observations or they have any, they want to report any incident, it's easily accessible. Then we have so many quick impact projects. We have medical outreaches. We have so many activities that have been, lined up as part of our non-kinetic operations, that supports our kinetic operations. So these are all well-planned operations, and they are part of our military engagements.
Oh, thank you very much, Major General Nuhu Angbazo, for talking with us. It's been a pleasure having you in the studio, talking live all the way from Maiduguri. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you so much, Patrick, and I hope that you will cover us up also during the Nigerian Army Day celebration, which is coming up very shortly.
We are available.
From the 4th to the 7th of July.
Okay, 4th to the 7th of July, Security Watch Africa will be with you there in Borno State for the last hold. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
That was the Chief of Civil Military Affairs talking about Major General Nuhu Angbazo, talking with us concerning what is happening in the final fight, so to say. In movies, when you watch most of these action movies, they say the last fight. I believe this is the last fight between the forces of Nigeria and those of the enemies of Nigeria, and I believe that God will give Nigeria that final victory, so that and the government with the plan of the non-kinetic policy will win back Nigerians, because there are so many Nigerian citizens that have not had the impact of governance in some of the communities and hamlets across the federation. And with what the military is doing now, trying to get back to them and win them back, it's very, very commendable. Every Nigerian should put hands together and support this fight to ensure that we have total victory. Right? Yes. Right now, we'll be giving you another report put together by Security Watch Africa, talking about the need. Like Major General Ambazo did say, there's a lot of sacrifices, so many innocent fighting soldiers and officers have been killed in making sure that Nigeria remains one. And there's need to replace this and replace this manpower that is being depleted in terms of when our soldiers are being killed. So we'll sit back as we bring you this report on the need for replacement of our personnel.
The Nigerian Army, under the leadership of Lieutenant General Tukuyisu Buratai, has continued in its effort to ensure that Nigeria is safe and free from both external and internal aggressors who are enemies of the country. General Buratai and his officers and soldiers have made sure all threat to the peace of the nation is tackled headlong, and this is evident in a relative peace in most parts of the country, especially in the northeast. This is said to be connected to the support the army is getting from President Muhammadu Buhari-led federal government. President Buhari, upon assumption of office in May 29, 2015, following the numerous insecurity the country was faced with, promised Nigerians that peace will soon return to the country. The president soon after appointed new service chiefs to head the armed forces, the police, and other security agencies. And true to his promise, the fight against insurgency took an improved dimension. Soldiers were no longer running for their lives, but were now better equipped to fight the dead devil Boko Haram and other militia groups in the country. The army, in winning the war in insurgency, have lost a lot of brave officers and soldiers who have voluntarily laid down their lives for the peace and safety of the country. And this has continued to deplete the number of soldiers available to continue with the numerous tasks of protecting and defending Nigeria. As a result of the demise of some gallant officers and soldiers, it now falls on the shoulder of the remaining ones to continue the battle, and this has led to overstretching of the available men. Soldiers now spend years in the battlefield without having time to recoup for optimum performance. The need to increase the manpower of the army to replace the dead and the injured cannot be overemphasized. A man who has seen it all at both national and international level, as far as peacekeeping is concerned, retired Lieutenant General Chukwukadibia Obiako throws more light on this, on the need to strengthen the Nigerian army.
Buratai has a very clear understanding. In fact, he's a soldier. He wants his soldiers to be catered for. And then he would demand of them to do their job. And definitely he will do their job. You don't know what it is to have soldiers who trust you. Personally, on 2 different occasions, my soldiers saved my life. And all they did was, sir, stand here. We shall go forward. I wanted to lead, but they said I should stop. You wait. Let's find out, sir. It is the trust, the bond. So Buratai is doing very well. I know his limitations. Very serious limitations.
Yeah, talking about limitations, sir, we have also experienced where he was particularly talking about the issue of manpower. Some say that the Nigerian army is really understaffed. We don't have enough personnel.
Overstretched.
Oh, overstretched.
Overstretched. For the assignment is that the Nigerian army is doing police work. People are not thinking of the strength of Nigerian army. When you talk of strength, you talk of provisions, the tools to do the job. All these things count. You need to see how much it costs to maintain a brigade in the United States Army. A brigade in a month.
Yeah, because you've been there, so you know it was.
And you don't expect him to go outside what is provided to function.
So it's what you give him to work with,
Yes.
you don't give him.
Yes. And besides, the soldier is a human being, it's not a machine. Even machines break down.
Yes,
So if you don't want your machines to break down, what do? You have standby machines that can take over from run alternatively, and things will work. Yes, when a soldier goes to the battlefront and stays 6, 9 months to 1 year, he needs to be rotated. Comes back to be restrained and prepared and move back.
But here we hear that some do 4 years.
Well, we are repeating Liberia.
Though Lieutenant General Buratai has directed the officers and soldiers who have stayed at the battlefield be rotated, shortage of manpower is a big blow to the full implementation of that directive.
Welcome back. Like you heard, we must support, the government must do everything, Nigerians must do everything to support our armed forces, particularly the Nigerian army, as they fight. And the fighters are being depleted. There's need to replace, and so that we can have a proper victory. Yes, like I said, today our darling Super Eagles is in faraway Russia. We'll be facing Croatia in the first group match for the 2018 World Cup. We must support them. We must be behind them. We were praying for you, Super Eagles. I'm sure that most of you are here watching us wherever you are. Nigerians are behind you. Our president is behind you. Everybody is behind you, and wish you God's blessing and favor today. I want to celebrate at the end of the match. Nigerians want to smile and be with you, because football has proven to be one event that unites and unified everybody, even criminals. When there's football match, they want to watch match first, and so there will be some peace, and the law enforcement agencies will have some rest during football matches. So we wish our darling Super Eagles success as they march out to face Croatia this evening. Yet we want to also remind you of our coming event, the 15th edition of Africa Security Watch Award Conference and Exhibition is coming up, and nominations are already going out. Thank you for those who have nominated so far. I wish that you send your nomination more for those we think have done so well in terms of protecting lives and properties of Nigerians and Africans as a whole, because this is an African event, so that they can be celebrated. Yes, it's time for us to leave the studio for other programs to continue, but surely, by God's grace, next week we'll come your way again with a much, much better package program. So remain blessed and watch your back. Until next week.